Jamie Metzl joins us now. Jamie, exciting, interesting, compelling times.
Crazy times. There's real opportunity and there are real dangers, and so we're going to have to navigate everything carefully.
Right. Did you expect at one point throughout your career that a U.S. would be confronting Iran?
We had to. I mean, the Iran threat was growing. Presidents under both parties spoke a good game, and we didn't really do enough. And Iran was building its nuclear weapons capacity, its long-range ballistic missiles. It was supporting these terror proxy groups all around. The threat was growing. We had to do something. As you know, I'm not a huge fan of President Trump and everything, but he was the one who said we actually have to lance this boil, and who knows how it's going to play out. But I definitely think this was not a war of choice, as some people are saying. This was a provoked war and provoked by Iran.
I hope Israel is continuing to amaze me the way they've infiltrated into Iran. I hope they grab this uranium.
Yeah,
they know where it is.
It's really important, because if the Iranian regime survives and they have access to this enriched uranium,
here we go
there is a path to starting the whole thing again. And so we're really going to need to get it, and that's going to take a lot more, unfortunately, than what we've done so far.
All right, so let's also talk about what you want to talk about too, the AI 10 Commandments. People, wherever you go, people are worried about AI. I don't care, blue-collar worker, senior citizen, go, how's it going to change our lives?
So, sorry.
And so tell me where the ethics come into winning.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brian. Thanks. I'll just give a little bit of background. My new book, The AI 10 Commandments, is coming out on April 21st. I hope to join you here and in Fox and Friends on that day to release it. But the basic thing is, right now, we are living through this incredible AI revolution. And there's some really awesome things it can do and some really terrible things that it can do. And right now, we're so focused on all of the dangers. And I think the Americans are right to be worried about bad things. And there will be job losses. There will be some difficult challenges that we're going to face ahead. But there are also incredible opportunities. My last book, Superconvergence, that you just mentioned, is about what the intersection of AI, genetics, and biotechnology can do to help us in our healthcare, with agriculture, energy, advanced materials. And the new book, The AI 10 Commandments, is about my working with GPT-5 to basically mine all of human recorded history and all of our traditions, our religious, spiritual, moral, and ethical, to come up with 10 principles that are drawn from our common history that, if followed by everybody, would lead to the greatest amount of peace and happiness. And it turns out, when you explore that question in a way that AI can uniquely help us, that we have so much in common, and the principles that emerge are really kind of beautiful. And then in the book, I talk about going through with GPT-5 and saying, all right, so here's this principle. Let's talk about where it comes from. And it was a mix of the most beautiful things from Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, indigenous cultures. And just as AI can help us create harms, it can really inspire us to be our best. And the name of the game now is everybody recognizing that there's a better future and a worse future, and our mission is to work toward a better future.
So you used AI to find out about how to have the best ethics with AI.
Right. And so basically, it's like, think of it this way. If you're walking out in a forest and you see a bunch of ants in an ant colony, you're able to look down and you can see the whole colony and you can see all of the ants. But if you're an ant in that colony, you're just wandering around. You think, well, my focus of I'm going to carry this leaf from here to there. And so AI has none of us, even a brilliant guy like you, can see the entirety of human history all at once. But this incredible tool that we have created, it's not like an alien landing on Earth. It's us. We've created the tool. We have this amazing cultural history. And what I'm doing in this book, and what AI can help us do more broadly, is see a bigger picture, integrated story. It's exactly equivalent to the work that I do in biotech and human health, where when we use AI, we can see the body functioning in a way that would be impossible for any of us to do on our own without technology.
Understood. So how long did it take you to adapt to as AI is evolving? Like, for example, if we were talking about ChatGPT 2 years ago, it doesn't look anything like it could do so much more today.
Yes.
And now there's so many other companies can do it too.
Yeah, it's incredible. And so I lecture all around the world on this, how to think about the AI revolution. And what I tell people is this is a revolution that is not only continually unfolding, but it's accelerating. And so we need to be, just like you're doing and just like your listeners are doing just by being here right now, we need to dedicate a lot of our life energy to continually learning, continually understanding what AI can do and how it can help us and how we can collaborate with it. So the history of this book, I gave a talk 2 summers ago at this amazing place called the Chautauqua Institution in upstate New York, and it was about the future of AI. And then they invited me back this last summer and said, give us a talk about anything. And I thought, I'm going to combine the future of AI and then reference the beautiful pluralist religious tradition of Chautauqua, which is started 150 years ago for Methodists, but now has embraced all different faiths. And I gave a talk about AI and spirituality, and people really loved it. And I decided, well, I'm going to write a book based on this. But if I'm talking about AI and spirituality, I want to work with AI in a different way that any author has worked with AI before. So what I did is first I did an outline of the book. I then trained AI in my writing style by uploading all of my materials. And then I wrote the book, all of everything that was about argument, but then I would get to it, use the point I just made about AI being able to see us like we see ant colonies. So I would say the sentence that I gave before, AI can see us with a perspective like we see an ant colony from above. Write me 2 paragraphs in my writing style that make the following points. And it gave me these 2 beautiful paragraphs. And I said, no, you didn't get it right. Make these changes. And then you didn't get it right. Make these changes. Then I would edit that. And then I would put it back in GPT-5. And I would say, how about this? And he would say, well, what about this word? And so we went back and forth like this thousands of times. And when I finished writing the book, I thought, well, I've written this different than any book I've ever written before. So why would I put my name alone as the author? And so the author of my new book, The AI 10 Commandments, will be me and GPT-5. I was noting in your waiting room, you had the Greg from who ran for the governor of Utah. He has a book out that's just sitting outside here called The Last Book Written by a Human. Well, my book is the first book written by a human and an AI, and maybe 2 years from now, there'll be some machine sitting here having this conversation with you.
How's the publisher feel about that?
Well, it's really interesting because I've written 6 books. All have been published really well with traditional publishers. And when I reached out to my amazing superstar agent and I said, I have this book, here's 2 things that are essential for me. 1, I want to have GPT-5 as my named co-author. And 2, I don't want to wait the 1.5 years that it normally takes from start to finish, from when you're accepted. I want this book out in 6 to 8 months. And my agent said, I understand the aspiration. It can't be done the traditional way. And so this is 2026. I said, you know what I'm going to do? And I launched my own publishing company. It's called Transcend Books. We have the best of the best in all of the different things in editing, in distribution, PR, marketing, all of those things. And this will be the first publication of that. So it's a new world. We can just do things in whole different ways. And it's opening new vistas of opportunity.
So how about this? So is one of your goals to say, okay, Jamie Metzl's new company is going to have the following ethics when it comes to AI. And can you put those ethics into your AI model?
Yeah.
And no matter what you do, let's say you decide one day, I need to find out who's spying on me or do something that breaks one of your rules.
Yeah.
It will not go, it'll keep you to your model.
So just before you and I went live, Brian, you were asking me about Anthropic, and I gave you my views on Anthropic. And one of the reasons why I'm supportive of Anthropic in many ways, although I think this dust-up with the Pentagon was entirely unnecessary, and I think that we should be supporting Anthropic, and Anthropic should be supporting our warfighters. But they have done, it's called constitutional AI, where they've written this lengthy constitution, and then they have entered this constitution into the algorithm. I certainly, with the AI 10 Commandments, I am now exploring possibilities of can that be entered into maybe not a full LLM, but into at least a smaller chatbot. So somebody could say, I'm having an ethical question, and I'm going to go based on these principles. What are your views? And the nice thing for me is, so in support of the book, I've got beautiful supporting quotes. You know this. The
from
advanced
other
blurbs.
AI models?
No, from the Vatican, and from the leading Reform rabbi in the United States. So and what both of them have said is that we have these wonderful traditions. So I'm not trying to say anything against our existing traditions. As a matter of fact, I think that the more revolutionary our technologies become, the more we need the best of our very ancient traditions. I mean, there's so much ethics and principles, but I think that we can also say that we have an opportunity to look at all of humanity and say, how can we, in a way, bring all of our traditions together? And this is what the kind of, I don't want to use the word progressive because it's now been ruined, but the side of lots of different religions, whether it's the Unitarians or lots of others have tried to do, is say, are the Baha'is, to bring principles together that can draw us together.
How do we pre-order it?
Oh, thanks, Brian. Well, you can go to Amazon.com or wherever books are sold.
All right, because people have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. Right now, it looks like blue-collar workers are going to do the best because we got to build the data centers that provide the backup for these models.
Can I say, so blue collars are going to do well building these data centers.
Plumbers and pipe fitters
all
and
of those
electricians.
Things. When the people talk about AGI, artificial general intelligence, I summarize my view in 7 letters: AGIISBS. We are not going to create machines that do everything that humans do. Humans are incredible. Machines are incredible. What we need to do is to say, what does it mean to be a great human doing things machines can't do? And what does it mean to have machines that can help us do things that machines can do better than us? I believe there is an unlimited future for humans doing uniquely human stuff. And blue-collar workers, I mean, my mother is an independent living in Denver. When I go there, the kindness and love of the cleaners, like the people who are coming to clean my mother's apartment, it's so beautiful. We haven't valued those kinds of very human traits or different kinds of creativity or having conversations like we're having now. And I think what this is going to do is to force us to say, what does it mean to be a great human in an age of revolutionary technology? And then let's over-index on that. And so I'm really excited about it, but we need to make sure the worst stuff doesn't happen.
What we are seeing right now that for financial centers, for example, they're not hiring like they used to right out of college. And it's very hard for very qualified men and women graduating to get jobs because AI has taken a lot of that work out.
And there's a bridge right now. I mean, there's a gap because AI is taking jobs and it's slowly creating whole new industries. Like when you think of industrialization and electrification, like we wouldn't be here without electricity.
Candle makers were not happy about electricity.
No, and horse drivers and all those kinds of things. The challenge is that it's happening so fast. And so that's why governments must play a role in easing this transition. So don't get me wrong, there will be a lot of disruption and we're seeing it now. But jobs aren't going to go away. Humans aren't going to go away. Humans have all of these miraculous capacities. And we've always thought of new ways to allocate our energy towards optimal means. I think we're going to do it, but the transition could be tough.
All right, this is going to be exciting. He's got a brand new book coming out in just a few weeks, The AI 10 Commandments, A New Moral Code for Humanity. Jamie, as much as I like you co-author, I like you better.
I like you the most. All right, Brian, thank you so much.
Back in a moment.